Hi, good morning. Good morning. First item of business is going to be to adjourn the attorney-client session for today that began at 8:30. It ran until 9:22. This morning, we're going to go ahead and call public forum to order, February 22, 9:21 a.m. Please turn your cell phone to the vibrate, silence, or off setting. Gary Sansing Public Forum is intended for matters not included on the agenda for the upcoming BCC meeting. Citizens wishing to address items on the agenda, please sign up to speak to such item at the regular Board of County Commissioners meeting. Speakers, please refrain from abusive or profane remarks, disruptive outbursts, or any other conduct which interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise determined by the chairperson to allow sufficient time for all speakers. At the chairman's discretion, the public forum may end 5 minutes prior to the scheduled start of the meeting to allow meeting to commence on time. First speaker in public forum is Butch Hanson.
Good morning, Chairman Barry, Commissioners. I'm the treasurer of the Chappie James Memorial Foundation. And I joined this foundation not because I knew General James, but because I knew of his legacy as a junior officer in 1975 when he was promoted to 4 stars. Then I found myself in retirement in his hometown where he was born. And I learned so much more about his family, his roots, his legacy, what he stood for, what a great patriot he was. And I jumped at the opportunity to create a memorial, to name a bridge for him that would break down the division that seems to be widening across this nation. He was a unifying force that we haven't seen. He's a generational force. And what a great draw for this community that would be. Our foundation has persevered through the pandemic, much in the style of General James, who persevered through many obstacles in his career. Through inflated prices and other obstacles toward achieving our goal, we've raised the funding to procure, restore, and develop the items that will be displayed in this Memorial Plaza. And we have additional pledges to help display and maintain this plaza. Recognized by the community that this is a tremendous tourism opportunity, from the mayor of our city, who recently enthusiastically signed an agreement with us and supports funding it through tourism dollars, sees it as a tourism development project. Hundreds of donors that we've heard from, received funding from, and other supporters across the country. The site is now prepared. The city and state are working closely with us. The Tourism Development Council has now agreed that it's a tourism development project. And the previous Attorney General opinion says it's up to this commission to decide. I ask you to follow their recommendation and decide without delay to support this project such that we can award contracts and start construction this year. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I could.
Sure.
Mr. Hanson, the Tourist Development Council met on Tuesday this week and took a vote. It was unanimous to support it. We have the stewardship agreement, and the county has already requested an Attorney General advisory opinion on this specifically. So that's kind of where we're at. This board has previously voted to seek that, and we have sought it. And when we get it back, this board will make a vote. But the TDC voted unanimously. I sit on that board. I'm very supportive, but we've got to make sure we dot the I's and cross the T's. So that's, for my vote, that's where we're at.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Our next speaker is Ken Pyle.
Morning, Mr. Chairman.
Morning.
Commissioners. I'm Ken Pyle. I'm the secretary of the General Chappie James Memorial Foundation, and I'm here to both echo and expand on what my colleague Butch Hanson has just said. We thank Commissioner Ragash and the rest of the TDC for their positive endorsement of the project. We remain committed to asking you to take action today, or at the first meeting that it's allowed, without the Attorney General's opinion because of the previous opinion, that said that the Attorney General took no position and basically said her reading of, or his reading of the law at that point a few years ago was that the decision completely rests with the Board of County Commissioners to determine whether it is a tourist project or not. It's not whether the funds are allowed, it's whether the project is a tourist development, a tourist destination kind of project, then it automatically qualifies for the funding. So I believe you have the power within you. I believe you have the information you need to determine that. And if you need more, we did a tourist development study from UWF about 2.5, 3 years ago that basically laid out the numbers of potential tourists that would be drawn specifically by this project. And we will get that to you here shortly. But it is a tourist development project. The second thing I want to say is that we do have tremendous community support. If you remember when we were naming the bridge, it was like 80% of the respondents said it should be named after General James. And that same belief within the community that General James' legacy, General James' perseverance in the face of the segregation and racism that existed back in his time, he had a tremendously successful career. He was a positive officer. He was a positive force for good, both within the services and within the country. He was a brave, courageous soldier, standing up to Muammar Gaddafi and making stuff happen. He was the general officer that met the POWs in 1973 coming back from Vietnam. He was a great man and is well deserving of this honor. So I ask you to take action and let's make it happen.
All right. Thank you, Ken. Next speaker is Joe Denman.
Commissioners,
Morning.
Mr. Chair, I am only here to echo these people's thoughts about General Dan Chappie James. A hero from Pensacola, Florida, and a hero that should be recognized. And I hope that y'all do the right thing. I don't know how many of you were born here in Pensacola, but I'm sure there's some people up there. He's a hero, and we want to recognize him by his memorial, which you've all seen. And this has been 4 years now that we've been on and on with this, and might be time to do something about it, sir. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Joe. Next speaker is Larry Downs, Jr.
Hello, hello. Larry Downs Jr. Plumbing, LLC, because fecal matters. Alrighty, y'all know it does. Hey, commissioners, I believe y'all can have y'all can receive, nominal gifts, small ones, as long as they don't add up to too much money. I got some $20 shirts here that I'd like to give y'all. It's missionobvious.com, and you can wear it proudly. You can say, hey, I too am pointing out the obvious. I too was once fooled by, bureaucrats and scientists around the world. Of course, Pfizer and Moderna scientists, the mask scientists, where you can pull your chin mask down. Those scientists, you can walk through a restaurant, you gotta have your mask on to get to the table. But when you sit down, magic mask time. Those scientists, y'all could point out the obvious like I do, because y'all are leaders. I know, with the exception of you, Kohler, you wasn't here. You wasn't here. Of course, you followed a lot of the guidelines, but I'm just saying, these commissioners that are here, these commissioners, they did. They wore a mask right up here. Not Mr. Bagosh, not Bender, not even Underhill, you know, but May and Barry wore masks sometimes. Sometimes they felt like a mask, sometimes they didn't. That's the science of it. I mean, it's real science. We know it. I was watching some videos last night, commission videos. It's so neat to go back in time and watch how the nonsense was conducted, because it's documented. The mask on the chin, eating M&Ms, drinking Coca-Cola. Oh, that's not healthy. I wouldn't do that, Lumen. Not healthy, especially when you get those COVID vax, because you could have a coincidence. I can't make this up. Y'all know it. That's the reason why I'm saying it's obvious. It was obvious to me, the plumber. The plumber. It was so obvious in February 2020, March 2020, April, May, June, July. How long did y'all do that? 2 weeks to flatten the curve? It's absurd. It's absurd. And y'all fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. And I still want to know how many you got, Lumen. Did you get all 6? Because if you didn't, you're not fully vaccinated and you're not following the science. It's the science. We have to follow the science. Adios.
All right, board, that's all the public speakers, and we will begin immediately at 9:45, or right on time. Do what?